So you have to see your suffering samsara. You have to realize. I mean, it's like at the moment being in the center of the fire, or sitting bare body on the thorn bush tree. So your naked body is sitting there, or like in the teachings, a needle. You put the needle up, then sitting on that needle. So painful. So it's like that, being in the samsara. Even now, you feel very relaxed, but you see, like at least like being in prison, you want to be free from that any minute, any second. You want to be free from prison, all like that. Nothing like that. Then you kind of totally distracted with the attachment, and then you can generate compassion to others. You don't feel strong that suffering others. You don't know your own suffering samsara much. So then even you recite words, it just business lives there. Then difficult to generate bodhicitta in this life. So that it becomes just words. So kind of like that. It becomes nice, but that's it. So this is really, really, really important. Even though it's the Ju Chung Tomo Lam Jirinpa graduate part of lower Kilbury in general. You see, then middle Kilbury, then high Kilbury. Then you see, but you see that so important meditation, so important realization, so important those in the monasteries, in those expert Dharampa Geshes or the experts knowing Sudra Tantra so well. Important realizes, but also just who knows just Lamrim us, studying philosophy, who don't know much philosophy, study university or monastery, or Lamrim Lojong. So everyone, the most important. So you don't do that, then you want Buddhicitta, you want completion, you want generation, then reach nowhere. In your life before die, you reach nowhere. You reach nowhere before you die, reach nowhere. So after now, reach nowhere. So still time before you die, reach nowhere. So it becomes like that. So your mind doesn't develop step by step. It's not there. So that's missing. So I didn't finish the other day, but I mentioned in the West, even a non-Buddhist, billionaires, zillionaires, trillionaires. You see? Okay, don't believe reincarnation karma. You see? But suddenly, you have cancer, or suddenly heart attack, or suddenly death happens. And normally you don't think you're dead. Oh, you ignore, try to not think. What's the use of that? But I mean, you see, even you think you're dead, but you don't know what to do with that. You have no idea how to make that useful. No, because haven't the Dharma, so doesn't know what to do with that. So they ignore. So you ignore. See, that doesn't help. So only by ignoring, okay, now, so you can relax. So that doesn't help in the future. When you die, so then separation. For separation from family, separation from the separation from your body that you cherish the most. among all the sentient beings, numberless sentient beings, numberless helping, numberless hungry, numberless animal, numberless human beings, you cherish your border most, so that they're separate from that. They leave you, you leave them. So you know that. I mean, that's the first fear. Suddenly you discover you leave everything. Only the consciousness, like that you take the hair from butter, only butter comes. Hair comes. Only the hair comes, no butter. That's the first thing. Unbelievable fear. Only the person has a good heart normally live a good life. Even doesn't believe in this kind of good heart. You do good, be kind to others. Otherwise, so much suffering. Just that. Then the next life. You see, even you don't believe it intellectually, but naturally, your heart, you see, feeling here something very fearful, most fearful, terrible, terrifying, most terrible is going to happen to you. You feel that. Even intellectually, you believe there's no reincarnation karma. Intellectually. Words, you say no. But here, feeling many people like that. So, then after that, then can you imagine unbelievable the facing the Lord and Amen. Whoa. Yeah. So the suffering manifested form is like limitless, it's like sky, unbelievable, almost unbelievable. Like, you see, not the major hell, even the secondary hell, 6 neighborhood suffering. The first one, that's Kasura, lava, you see. So I don't know where. Mountains like this, but mountains all like this, but the lava from many street, from I don't know, from under spring lava. Mountains like that. Lava. So you see, this is not a major hell. Second, born in that, born inside that. I wonder why, when the lava came from the mountain, so even distance like that, lava is there, but so hot. So get melted like stones, and it's not like the human fire. Wow. Unbelievable, like that. So for example, you're born inside the lava. How is it for you? So you don't believe now. But when you're born there, you didn't get purified, you didn't get actualized part, nothing was done, nothing, only rejoicing, nothing. So you're born there, finished. The result, the cause is not purified. So cause is there, so the result happened already. So you have to experience how many eons of that. So Mema moved to center of the hot red fire, like blood, like lava. So there's a 6 neighborhood suffering. The first one. Chuvarame, last one, Chuvarame. Water, but one is fire. born in there and experience for eons. Until the karma finishes. Pure Rame. So what I think is, they don't come from the sky. They come from down below. I don't know whether scientists have measured or not. How many stories down? I don't know. I haven't heard. Whether they measured the fire, the lava came. How many stories? It was very interesting. So I relate that the secondary health, not the measure of health, secondary health. So Churame or Mamamujo, so it came from that. So that I relate to this. Yeah. So you see, so even non-Buddhist, you see, it's like this. Suppose Dharma, so if you remember that, you don't know what to do. So it's only causing suffering. So, but if you met Dharma, the solution is to practice Dharma. Yeah, solution is practice renunciation, then bodhicitta. Yeah. Sorry. Ultimate good heart, the best Dharma, emptiness, without talking Tantra. So that's very practical. I want to tell you one thing. If you are running the country, running government, best way to run the government is by having lambda realization. Think this. By having lambda realization. Rule the path to enlightenment, correctly following words of friend, all that, on the basis of that, renunciation, bodhicitta, run the government with renunciation, detachment to samsara pleasure happen. Oh, perfect. So you don't create the problem, using the population for your power, your wealth, your family, to take your family in the world. There was American two towers were destroyed by the Karma. You say Bin Laden, but it's by the people they Karma. The Karma of the American government over there. So they Karma. 4,000 people working there, so they Karma. So what is appeared is the condition with Bin Laden, but however, even Bin Laden to harm them, it came from their karma, it came from their mind. It's 4,000 people who suffered, who died there, who jumped, with their karma. So the American people's karma. So that is the correct way of thinking, unmistaken way of thinking, correct way of thinking. So who made Bin Laden to harm, to blow up these two buildings? Who? By the people who suffered. People who 4,000 people who suffered, the American people, their mind, their karma, made him to harm back. You have to understand. You have to understand what Shantideva said. Didara panna machena, gayang suna michede. Didara panna machena, if you didn't have harm like this before, Gayang Tsunem is nobody can harm to you this time. You have got that mind. Just to understand the words. Not you have to have cows in your bone, in your brain or bone, your cows. Oh, that's Buddha's teaching. If you are Buddhist, you have to follow Buddha's advice, teaching how the world created by the mind, how your world is created by your mind. Your life is created by your mind. That. This is not so reality. Every time I whereas world is not so. The mountains, lakes, oceans, so all that. Even how you see the people, harming you, happy you, angry to you. Yeah, from that, your home sound, smell, taste, tangible, or your home sound, smell, taste, tangible, all come from your mind. So always recite the heart sutra. So you see, it's not so reality, came from karma. So you see, when things happen in the world, never think, many people like me, never think karma, never think what Buddha said. It's only outside, only outside. Oh, then you see, the wrong way. Only outside, never release the mind, never came from mind. Oh, then the mind is kind of perfect. Oh, I don't know. Only outside, only came from outside. They never solved the problem. It is not all reality. Actually, everything came from the mind. Your life came from your mind, created by your mind. That's the basic thing about Buddhism. Very basic thing about Buddhism. How much you suffer came from your mind. How much you experience happiness, success came from your mind. So what I was going to say, I must finish this. And, I didn't come here to talk on that. But it's very important that this issue is most important to Buddhism. So there's nothing to be upset outside. See? There's nothing to be upset, to revenge, to nothing to be upset, nothing to be angry, only to general compassion to others. Patience. Oh, so like Israel said. If you know. If you don't know, then angry, revenge, kill. Oh, like that happens in the world all the time. Oh, that. So you follow the world. You don't follow Dharma, you follow the world. Then everything, you see, cause of suffering, cause happiness, totally wrong. You know? Cause of suffering, which is not that, but you outside cause suffering, people or elements. And they happen, cause happiness first, but do not think. Even one intellect, no, but you don't think in daily life, you don't practice. So something else outside. Not your virtue, not your positive mind. So like that. So if you are really practicing Dharma, that is to complain to others, to get angry back, revenge. There's nothing there. Because anything, whoever harms to you, is because you harmed in the past. The first, with your self-chasing thought, with your anger, with your attachment, 3% mind, harmed the others. So that karma made them to harm you back this time. Oh. So, there's a partner machana, Gaya Suna message. If you didn't harm this way to others in the past, nobody will harm to you. Gaya Suna message. Tewe Semchen Tseche. Monje Dage Semchen la, they comes up. Monje Dage Semchen la, Dindrawa you know what it. Tewe Semchen Tseche, Dala Noche Dijingri. So Monje Dage Semchen la, in the past, in the past I gave such a harm to others. Dindrawa you know what it. Tewe Semchen, therefore, it deserves, I don't have to say, such a rig. How's the Kishimagaraj? How's that Magaraj? George, how's that? Kishikana, how do you say? Tewe Samjan, such a rig. How do you say English? What means? Tewe Samjan, such a rig. Parizo? Huh? What? What did you say?
Just say yes.
Now, second translation. Not yes. There is something. I gave such harm to in the past to others. So, so therefore, the sin that been harming to me is a deserved or You see the character was a personality of the self-chester. You can kill others, you can beat, you can do anything, angry, revenge, anything, but nobody can get into me. Nobody can criticize to me. So that's the nature of the self-chasing thought is a dictatorship. People don't like dictatorship. At the moment, they don't know, for example, you see, if the dictatorship is Buddha, the dictatorship Bodhisattva, like his owners. Wow! People in the world, general people don't know so much. This dictator, bad! That dictator, but Buddha, Bodhisattva, totally sacrifice life for sending to have happiness. Temporary happiness up to happiness, happiness, future life, happiness, ultimate happiness, free from samsara, then peerless happiness and enlightenment. You know? Even Bodhisattva. Amazing. So dictatorship, I think probably, I don't know dictatorship meaning who works for his own self-chasing thought, who was for, the government or population, but using everything to get power and wealth to yourself, to your family. Motivation, self-chasing thought. Then everybody don't get along. Then personality crash. Then your personality, self-mind, crash with others. Then don't get along. Then like Syria, so many 100,000 people, so many innocent people, so many 100,000 get killed. They escape from the country, they get sinking in the ocean. So many people, the heavy sink. What to do? Oh, that. So, mainly because it's one person running. That we see there's a Buddha, Bodhisattva. is the best. Who is the Buddha, Bodhisattva? Depends how you run. Not just one person, no. Depends how you run. You are using others, government, population, to your power, to get for your power, wealth, all that reputation, or you use a servant to others, have to have happiness, power, happiness, wealth, I mean, all the good things for others. All that's true, totally be too different. So people don't, most people don't, maybe don't know much. So so it depends how you run. Anyway, so here you see, Teve Simjen Tsechi, Dala Noje Dijung Teve Simjen Tsechi. Therefore, Simjen is harming me. Dala Noje Dijung is worthwhile to receive. Was I? You see, I harm to others. I did. So why not me? Why not the sending me harm to me? Oh no, why not? You understand? Simchen Chechi. Dala Noje Dijung Rig. Simchen Chechi. Dala Noje Dijung Rig. Then, you see, sorry, my talk came this way. But, okay, so I'm not able to finish. So, most important, the Buddhism is the world came from karma, mind. This is not so delicate. If you remember that everyday life, when you are happy, when you are not happy, suffering. You have to remember everyday life. That is everyday, not Dharma. You think it totally same as people who never met Dharma, never know Dharma, never learned Dharma. Exactly same, your life. Even you be able to speak, you know what Dharma says, but daily life, you are always thinking, because you don't practice, totally like people who never met Dharma, never heard Dharma. Same way of living life, way of thinking. You see? So that's why you suffer. That's why so much suffering. Like that. So, sorry. Yeah. So there happened in Nalanda, one monk, many years ago. He started maybe Keshika-sang, Keshamba Tekcho, Keshamba Jaso, started Matamika, yeah, so, Tangal Lechin Jingbo, Lama Tsongab was very, very important teaching. The interpreted definite meaning, the good explanation, good explanation, the heart of the good explanation. Started so much. So then he said, he told Bisli, he told Bisli took care of Lama for some years. So he told Bisli, Buddhism doesn't help me. You have to remember this attitude. Buddhism doesn't help me. It didn't give me Buddhism didn't give me happiness. He said, Buddhism didn't give me happiness. He said, He did not. He think practicing Buddhism is just reciting words, the mantras, the commitment. You see, and like university studying Buddhism, you see, professor explains the meaning, then there's so they try to get degree. So like that. That none is the practicing Buddhism. No. That alone doesn't mean that. Doesn't that. So you didn't check yourself what you practice Dharma or not. What means practicing Dharma? So I was going to beginning. I thought to spend time in this. 10 animals jewels there gives me. But then God didn't happen later. So very, very good. So he said that Buddhism didn't give me happiness. Huh? So you see, he was believing happiness comes from outside, not coming from his mind. Which is the actual way it's coming from mind. Suffering comes from the mind. So happiness has to come from your mind. Not thinking that happiness comes from outside. So Buddhism didn't give happiness. So that. Mm-hmm. So his idea of Buddhism is just the starting was I don't know, reading the robes and I don't know. So something like that. You see, do not collect any, do not commit any non-virtue, engage in perfect wholesome action, subdue one's mind. This is teaching Buddha. So you see, he never did that. So you see, you question yourself, what do you practice Dharma or not? Yes, you learn Dharma, it's means, but what do you really practice? Didn't question. You don't question that. So as if every day you believe you practice Dharma. So then you see, then you face much suffering. From the mind, much suffering. Then you say at the end, Buddhism didn't give me any happiness. So, if you subdue your mind, then from there, this mind which produces suffering, that reduces. Then the mind which produces happiness rises. So you didn't do that. That's the real practicing Dharma. You didn't do that. You have to know that. So he started many things subject. Yeah? So England, London, England, Marzens, Narendra, Italy. All that. See? He knows many words. But that's what he thought. So not that. Okay. Yeah, okay. It's an important subject. Once you know that, there's nothing to complain to others, nothing to revenge, nothing to get angry. Only to practice patience. Only to practice compassion. So that my karma persuaded. That's the sentiment. My karma persuaded. Therefore I receive this harm. Okay? So, by that, so my karma pursued. My karma pursued or pursued? Huh? Pursued. My karma pursued. Therefore, I received this harm. Therefore, so because you gave harm in the past to others, then karma, negative karma, harm. So therefore, that matters the sentient being to harm you now. So, who made the sentient being to harm you now is by yourself. Beginning, you harm the person. Without the cause, there won't be a result. That person sentient being harming to you now. Not possible. No reason. Not at all. So, so other sentient beings, by giving harm to you, then you made other sentient being to fall in the hole of hell. So now he's a human being. Then because of the examination, they made him to be born, to disappear from the human realm, to be born in the hole of the hell, to fall down or to be born in hell. There's a way to generate compassion. Instead of angry and revenge, you generate compassion and help. After compassion, then you help whatever you can, or physically or whatever. Yeah, mentally. I mean, see, at least even recite Om Mani Padme Hum, dedicate the marriage to him, to be free of, to not be robbed, not be reborn, Lord, and to be free of samsara, treat the enlightenment as good as possible. Like that, you see? So you pray. At least even that. So you dedicate out the past. You all that marriage collected from past life, from beginning to now, future. Then 3 times marriage collected by numberless sentient beings, 3 times marriage collected by numberless Buddhas. Then together we dedicate to not be reborn, Lord realms, and forever. Not all this, forever. And then to be born in the pure land where he can become enlightened, or receive perfect human rebirth. Meet Mahana teaching, meet perfectly qualified Mahana Guru, revealing the understanding path to enlightenment. And by placing most holy mind words friend, the achieve enlightenment as good as so best. So yeah, you want to bring whatever is practice, hard, reading hard sutta, reading Dharma sutta, what? I mean, so many things. For him you can do that. At least, even you can't speak or whatever. So, it's so good. Wow, then you should cause enlightenment by yourself. Amazing. So anyway. Then this is how to develop compassion. It's incredible. I said.